Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Divya Kawatra and today we are discussing about a very important topic, that is thorium. That's right. Let's discuss, are we finally ready, after so long, are we finally ready to skip uranium and move towards thorium? Let's find out. So what has happened recently is that thorium is back in the headlines because according to the recent reports, government is weighing a policy shift. They are considering finally that if they can allow private companies a role in India's tightly controlled, everywhere privatization is happening as we've seen, in the tightly controlled thorium sector with a draft policy expected after consultations between key ministries. So they're thinking about that and nothing has been enacted yet as such, but still we are considering that. The speculation is itself telling that there is a central idea that now thorium is going to once again take the center stage, right? It has become India's energy future. Why? Because we are replacing it with, we are replacing uranium with it, that is thorium, right? Why do we want to do that? What benefit will it bring and how will we do that? Let's understand all that today, all right? Okay. Before we do that, let me give you a small information. We have live ISGS Foundation courses running from Karol Bagh and Noida centers, all right? In that you get structured classes for prelims as well as mains capsules, prelims capsules. Along with that, mains test evaluations and current affairs test series, magazines, all these things for 3 years. All right. Yeah, just the current affairs part for 3 years. All in one package, that is ISGS Foundation course that you can avail from the Drishti IAS Learning app or the Drishti IAS website as well. If you face any problem or have any other query, please give us a call on 87501 87501. All right. Okay, let's talk about thorium again then. India's thorium-based 3-stage nuclear program. There was an idea proposed. Long ago, a visionary proposed an idea. We'll talk about him and the idea as well, where 3-stage nuclear program was given. In that 3-stage, the role of thorium is very high. But the only problem that was coming was thorium itself is fertile. Thorium itself is fertile. That means it cannot sustain a reaction on its own, right? It cannot sustain a reaction on its own. It needs a catalyst. It needs the support of something else. For that, we need uranium 233. That is a potent nuclear fuel. So, Homi J. Bhabha came up with an idea, has provided stepwise progression to wake up the massive thorium potential for long-term energy self-sufficiency, right? For that, they have done this and they have given 3-stage idea, right? 3-stage takeaway, how we can do this, 3 steps to do this, all right? Who has given that? Homi J. Bhabha. You know, a very important personality, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, based on his name, right? Yeah. So now this is his 3-stage nuclear program that he has given the road to energy independence that we can have. Let's understand what the idea is that he has provided us with, through which we will be able to actually materialize the idea through private sector if the decision comes so, right? Exactly. So the stage 1 here is PHWR, that is pressurized heavy water reactor. A pressurized heavy water reactor that we have discussed many a times. How it works is we have input of natural uranium, then we have moderated heavy water D2O, and then we have the heavy water reactor here for the primary uranium, under which under steam generator electricity turbine will be created. Steam generator will give us plutonium 239 pellets also, and then this plutonium will go into the second stage, that is FBR, fast breeder reactor. It will go to the second stage under FBR, that is fast breeder reactor, where the driver fuel will be plutonium, right? Plutonium, and along with that, this will create a blanket thorium 232 rods. We will have, can you see these red rods? These are thorium rods, okay? Thorium 232, the version is 232, thorium 232 rods, and red fuel uranium 233 also, right? Yeah, here we'll have uranium, here we'll have thorium. Both of them will come together because as we talked about it, thorium on itself cannot sustain the reaction. We need uranium, all right? So in that second stage, we will do this, all right? After that, the third stage comes, that is AHWR, Advanced Heavy Water Reactor. advanced heavy water reactor. That was pressurized heavy water reactor. Now we have advanced heavy water reactor where this uranium-233 that has come out, the uranium salt will be put in. This will be put in plus thorium, U233 that has come out from here, plus more thorium we will put here, and with that comes from monazite sand. Where is it coming from? Monazite sand. All right, exactly. And this will give us vast level of electricity. This will create vast level of electricity. That is how it will work. First of all, with hard water, that is D2O, heavy water, that is D2O, we start the process. With that we have plutonium. With plutonium we add here our other components, that is thorium rod as well as uranium, right? Out of that we have uranium-233, that again we mix with more thorium, and this coming from monazite salt, and then in this will create a vast level of electricity, and waste stream is very minimalistic, right? So basically you can see that everything is getting reused again, and it is a self-sustaining cycle. It becomes a self-sustaining cycle. Clear? It becomes a self-sustaining cycle, a long-term sufficiency it can give us, and thorium can take, India obviously has large-scale thorium, and that's why this is important for us as well. All right, do you understand this three-stage structure that was given to us? Yes? All right, now the point comes, like, why replace uranium? What is so special about thorium? It cannot even sustain the reaction on itself, but still we want it. Why? So we have drawn a comparison between uranium and thorium. Okay, uranium fuel cycle and thorium fuel cycle. Uranium is conventional, that is already happening. Thorium is future target. Future target. Why? Because in terms of Indian reserves, uranium is highly scarce and we are importing it. But when we talk about thorium, we have abundant thorium, extremely abundant, not just abundant, extremely abundant in the monazite sands of India, and that's why it can reduce our imports and build self-sufficiency, right? That is the whole purpose, isn't that? That is the whole purpose, building self-sufficiency if you don't have to import. In terms of safety, uranium has lower thermal conductivity, smaller safety margins, again meltdown. In terms of thorium, higher thermal conductivity, melting point is 3300 degrees Celsius. So there will be no meltdown risk, all right, or minimalistic meltdown risk. Then waste profile, it produces heavy transuranics, that is Pu, Am, etc. hazardous, that are hazardous. In terms of thorium, it has far fewer heavy isotopes, waste decays, they are safe as well. They are safe as well. All right. Yeah. In terms of proliferation, in uranium it is higher, byproduct plutonium, we know that is weaponizable and weapons can be created from this. In thorium it is low because it contains trace of uranium-232, which gives lethal gamma radiations, which makes it impossible to handle without heavy robotic shielding, right? So there will be no theft. It will deter the theft, and it is not like you have weaponization and anybody can come and take that and create weapons. No, it won't happen. Clear? That is why we are moving towards thorium, and the basic primary reason is obviously the factor that it will give us self-sufficiency. It will give us self-sufficiency. Nothing is more important than that. Nothing is more important at present time for a nation to lose its dependency and finally become self-sufficient. That is very important, right? Exactly. But still there are challenges. It is not like we can do it like this, right? There are certain challenges, engineering and policy challenges that are running here. What are the challenges? Number one, gamma radiation handling, because we just saw that it has hazardous gamma radiations. We have to still learn to handle that. How will workers have that equipment and with which they will work so that they don't get affected by the radiation? That is the problem. Then we have protactinium-233, that is a holdup. We don't have that yet. Fast breeder complexity, right? It is also complex and it has constraints like liquid sodium management, thermal stress, all this has to be done, right? And then the policy and strategic challenges are also there. Policy and strategic challenges are also there. Why so? Because private sector participation, we are talking about that. Policy needs to be drafted for that. International diplomacy, accessing stage 1 uranium fuel from people, because we still need to mix uranium. That will be a difficulty. Then public acceptance, because people expanding advanced reactor fleet and fear of accident, waste, etc. People will have fear regarding this. So we have to work on people's fear as well, right? These are the challenges we still have to work upon. Only then we will be able to move towards a stable shift policy for thorium, right? Exactly. It is a good opportunity. We are working on it, but there are still nooks and corners that we need to sort out. Clear? However, it is a very good strategy and we are looking forward to it. And we have an information, if you want more such discussions on current affairs, we meet daily live at 8:30 am, where we discuss the Hindu newspaper, PIB articles, editorial through such mind maps that we just did, and daily practice questions on current affairs as well. All right. This is the session that contains all these details, and that runs on Drishti IAS English channel. As you can see the channel right above this, right? Exactly. When do we meet? 8:30 live, 8:30 am live, Monday to Saturday. All right. Okay. So we have a question for you regarding this 3-stage nuclear power program. 3-stage nuclear power program. Read the question. Give us your answer in the comment section. Read quickly. Done? Alright, let us know your answer in the comment section, and that is about it. I hope you understood the use of thorium, how thorium can be the future of India's energy security, right? Alright, that's about it. Thank you so much for joining in. Take care. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.